What's up, everybody, and welcome to Turbo's Top 10, where I give you a top 10 sports list every week. This week, we're diving into first basemen right now. So let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, leading off this list at number 10 is Carlos Santana. And no, we're not talking about the musician. We're talking about the first baseman from the Cleveland Indians. This dude actually has had a lot of consistent years so far. And with the lineup, the way it's currently constructed is almost the same as what it was last year. I don't foresee Jose Ramirez having as bad of a year as he did last year. So the better the lineup, the better this guy's going to hit, and that's why he starts the list off at number 10. Coming in at number 9, I've got Rhys Hoskins from the Phillies. This dude kind of started out with a bang. He's increased production every year, and I expect that to continue to increase with the changes and updates that the Phillies have made to the lineup. I think another year having Bryce there is going to help him a lot and help bolster that lineup and make it even more productive. And I really think the Phillies are going to shake things up this year. So keep an eye on the Phillies. Keep an eye on Mr. Hoskins. Coming in at number 8, I've got Josh Bell for the Pirates. And this dude is an absolute stud. He's a beast. Physically, I mean, he's a very imposing player at the plate. Switch hitter, which is also a huge plus. And the reason I have him down here at number 8 is there is absolutely nobody on that team to protect him. No one's going to pitch to him. Is he going to have the patience at the plate, the discipline to keep everything in the strike zone? That's going to be the issue with him. And I have a feeling if there was a little bit more help in that lineup, he'd be further up on this list. Number 7, I've got Matt Olson from the Oakland Athletics. The A's were kind of a surprise last year. They have a lot of young pieces. They're meshing together extremely well. They've added some stuff in the offseason. It's going to be a pretty awesome lineup. They've got a great upstart third baseman. So keep an eye out for Oakland. I know all of you that follow the Starting 9 podcast, you probably get bored of Dallas Braden talking about the Oakland A's, but they're for real. They're for real, and they're not going anywhere. So I see this kid being hot and having an amazing year. Coming in at number 6, speaking of having a hot year, Jose Abreu for the White Sox. Man, did they go out and spend some money, fill some holes, fill some gaps, and they are a team to be reckoned with in the American League Central. I think they're going to contend. I don't think they're quite there to contend with the Twins, but you never know. The Twins pitching isn't that awesome. The Indians, we'll see how that goes. They finished 2019 strong, so we shall see how that team kind of gels in the moves that they've made. But the White Sox have a lot of young talent. They have Abreu locked up for quite a few years, so let's see if the pitching with Giolito and that staff can hold up. But I have a feeling Abreu is set for a monster year. Coming in at number 5, I've got Paul Goldschmidt for the Cardinals. Year number 2 with the Cardinals. I think he started off 2019 a little rocky, had a strong finish to the end of the season. I think now that he's in that clubhouse, in that atmosphere, he's going to do a lot better and just have a Paul Goldschmidt year. And for a Paul Goldschmidt year, that's an MVP potentially in the making in the National League. Number 4, we're going to the left coast. We're going to LA, and we're going with Max Muncy. Man, is this Dodgers roster scary. Wow, I mean, they got my boy Mookie. That was heartbreaking, and Mookie's only going to bolster that roster and make that lineup tight from 1 to 9. So yeah, if you're judging by the lineup that they're around, this Muncey's bound to have an amazing year because pitchers can't pitch around anybody. They've got to pitch to everybody. So with that badass roster, badass lineup, his actual performance has been increasing every year. So I have a very good feeling 2020 is going to be a monster year for Mr. Muncy. Coming in at number 3 from the north side of Chicago, Anthony Rizzo. What can you say about Rizzo? He's going to bat you close to 300, 30 to 40 bombs and 100 RBIs. And he does it from the 3rd spot, the 2 spot, the 4 spot, the 1 spot. It doesn't matter where you put this guy in the lineup, he's going to rake. And as far as defense goes, might possibly be the best defensive first baseman on this list. The Cubs have a great lineup. They pretty much stood pat from where they were last year. But do they have the pitching? I think if you're a Cubs fan, you're a little nervous about what they didn't fill in the offseason. But what they didn't have to fill was an amazing first baseman that you can put in anywhere in the lineup, and he's going to rake. So I expect a big year from Mr. Rizzo and the entire Cubs team. But their division is very, very up in the air. You could possibly see not only 2 teams, but maybe 3 teams. 2 of them get in those wild card spots. So we shall see. Coming in at number 2, I have Freddie Freeman from the Atlanta Braves. Freddie's another one of those guys. He's going to hit you 300. Doesn't have as much pop in the bat as a lot of these guys do, but takes the ball the other way, goes with the pitch. If you need a base hit, he's the guy you're going to want at the plate. An absolute gem in the field. I mean, I don't know how many Gold Gloves this guy has, but I have a feeling if he stays in the National League, him and Rizzo are going to go back and forth with Gold Gloves for many years to come. This guy's a total package. Hits from the left side. Is it just an absolute beast? And in that lineup, that Atlanta Braves lineup is young and they are potent. And I know they didn't re-sign Josh Donaldson, but I have a feeling some of the other players in that lineup are going to mature even more, which is scary as hell. And I think Freddie Freeman's going to be that old, if you can call him an old grizzled vet, I think he's going to be right in there leading this team the way he should. And the Atlanta Braves are going to make some noise for sure. Coming in at number one. Now, if you look back at the last 2 top 10s, you could interchange, 1 and 2. You can swap 1, 2, or 3. This list, I really don't think so. I think this list has a dominant 1, a dominant 2, and a dominant 3. And going in at number 1, I have a feeling if you made it this far in the video, you know exactly who I'm talking about. That is Mr. Pete Alonso, NL Rookie of the Year, hitting bombs, smashing moms. This dude is he's young as hell. The sky is the limit for this kid. If healthy, I think he's hitting 60. I think he's hitting 60 bombs. The Mets they bolstered a lot of their rotation. They bolstered a lot of their position players. The NL East is going to be a dogfight, and I think they're going to be right in the middle of it because of players like Alonzo. And of course, that starting pitching staff is unbelievable. So that's the top 10 list for this week, guys and gals. Stay tuned for next week. Like, subscribe, comment, and just stay tuned for all of our other content, our full-length podcast, the highlight show. I know with there's absolutely no sports on right now except for the NFL headlines. So keep an eye on us. We're not going anywhere. We're going to do our best to give you the best content that we can. We do have a lot of cool shows lined up for you guys, as well as these top 10s are going to keep coming. So stay tuned and see what we got coming next. Bow!